Has everybody got their coffee?
We do.
I am giving you guys the first view of my website in its public domain. And I will tell you it's not perfect, and that permission for imperfection has set me free. So a couple things. You can follow along with me up to a point on mooncyclemethod.com if you want to plug that into your phone. And I've got three things that I want to ask of you. So I have three asks, and you might write these down because at the end I'm going to ask you for them. So number one is I would like your suggestions for any way I could improve the way I present these concepts, whether the way I verbalize them, talk about them, or the way they're on my website. So number one, just suggestions. Number two, anyone who might benefit from the course that I'm about to show you and want to purchase it at a discount. It is at a discount right now while it's in this soft opening phase. And number three, any groups that might be interested in what I call what to do with the moon talks. And I'm going to give you a little flavor of those. And yeah, so I think I'm just going to go along. When you land on moon.
Hey, Liz, they're
Yes.
asking for you to please speak a little louder
Okay, I will try.
And maybe turn up her.
and maybe turn up your volume on your end.
Don't think that I'll check the microphone, but I don't think there's anything I can do about how you're hearing it. Yeah, it's up. Okay, so I'll do my best. I'm going to hold my microphone right in front of my mouth, and hopefully this will help. Is this good? I'm talking. Okay, so if you want to follow along on your cell phone, punch in mooncyclemethod.com. And what you see is a site that explains to you the idea that we lose touch with our inner block, with our inner flow, and that there's reasons that happens, and we can get back in touch with it. And when we do, life gets easier because we're in the flow, and we get more creative, we get more productive. And also in this, it's explaining what I call the spiralic journey. Life is not a straight line. We're not just, going from begin to end. We're actually passing the same points over and over. You've passed your birthday many times now. You've passed beginnings and endings. You've had challenges and successes, and we see those over and over and over from a different perspective. And when we start to tune into it, we find out there's meaning in that is guidance for us. It provides the hope that Stephanie was talking about. So I want to help people find that in themselves. It's a beautiful way of living as your own understanding of yourself unfolds month after month after month. At the same time, I'm very careful not to create another thing people have to do. So there are other supports here at the bottom of this page, the spiralic journey. I'm talking about the spiralic journey right there. And I'm creating a newsletter that people can subscribe to that helps them recognize the events in the course of a year calendar, and how to celebrate or find those events inside of ourselves. My monthly new moon Zoom, it continues to be free. The next new moon is Monday, September 2nd. My new moon Zoom is September 3rd, because we always do it after the new moon for reasons I explained during the class. But if you guys haven't already, you can click that link and put it on your calendar, and I'll take you through a process to set your intentions for the next moon cycle. And then, of course, there is my tarot coaching, which is another way to get in touch with that intuitive part of yourself. So that's kind of the explanation that you see here. If you go to other pages here, you'll see about Mooncycle method. There's more there, kind of telling you the details of the course. And basically, it is a course only because we have to structure it somehow. But I've been very careful not to make it feel onerous. You don't have to start with module 1 and work through like you're getting some kind of PhD in the moon. It really is a set of resources to help you get in touch with it in a very natural way. This pop-up takes you to a guidance sheet that is a one-pager, else front and back, that gives you a quick reference. Well, when I looked up at the sky this morning, I saw a moon that looked like this. What am I supposed to focus on today? So this is a great one-page reference no matter what experience you have following the moon. Okay, so here's a little more about what's in the course to help people decide what they want to do, but I'm actually going to show it to you, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this page. And then there is the About Liz page, where I go into some detail about what my spiralic journey has looked like. And I share that so that you might be able to look at your life and see it for the spiralic journey it's been and how it has left you a breadcrumb trail for your own growth and for your own joy, for your own healing, for your own integration. So, and then there's videos everywhere. So let's now, so if you were to buy, you would go to the Order Now button and you would complete the process, the buy now. You pay with PayPal, which also accepts credit cards, and then you get immediate access. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. For those of you who already have login access, and I know there are some, you can log in with me. The rest of you can just follow along. I'll take you on the journey. So once you're inside, and there's so many things I love about this course, and it's been years in the making. It has had its own spiralic journey. I am a planner. I know how to get things done. And I have had to over and over, cycle after cycle, learn the lesson of let this evolve as it wants to. Let this take shape. I followed this into fruition. I did not make it happen. As a result, it is far better, far bigger than anything I could have forced into existence. And one of the things I love about it is having it on my cell phone. I wrote this stuff, and yet this morning I had a lovely half-hour meditation process with my coffee using the material that's in this course. So once you're in it, oh, so we are in it. I'm not in it. See, I'm talking and not doing resume course, and that'll take me into the course. So I logged in and now I have to resume the course. And here is the overview. I'm just going to click through these to give you the general taste of what is there. First off, we have a lot of information about how to follow the moon. What does it mean? Why are we doing this? How does it relate to us? The moon is up in the sky. Well, the moon has a psychological, a metaphysical, a spiritual reference point for what's going on in us because we are cyclic. We forget this. We forget we are because we live in a straight line world that wants us to produce at a high level constantly, but that's not who we are. So this just reminds you and gives you that context and sets you up for the pieces that you're going to do. So you can click here. It's going to take us into the moon phases. Oh, no, you have some extras that come. You get a 29-day Mooncycle planner that you can print out. You can use it on your tablet. You can do it however you want. And you get these cool little wallpapers. I am big on using that front of my phone since I look at it 30,000 times a day or whatever. I want it to remind me of my intention. So I am big on putting wallpapers on my phone. So I just share them with you here. You download all these, and then when you're in the appropriate phase, you put it on the front of your phone. So let's see, right now, oh, we just passed it. Here we are. This is where we're coming into right now. So this would be your screen, reminding you every time you look at it that whatever it is you think you have to do today, right now, it can wait. Today, I claim deep rest. Okay, so then those are just some extras, and there's others, but we want to click into the phases. So each of the phases, the new moon is the most loaded phase here because there is just a lot of meaning and opportunity in it, a lot of energy in the new moon. But also, I've been leading new moon Zooms for what, 3 or 4 years now? And there's 13 new moons a year, and each of those was recorded. And so I make those archives available. So we're following the moon around, as the earth travels around the sun, and we're paying attention to those 12 or 13 seasons. We call them seasons. We're normally aware of the 4, but if we break it into more seasons, we have more granularity. And this teaches you how to recognize the season you're in. So right now, we are in the season of Virgo. Virgo is about organization. It's that back to school feeling. It is that autonomous. We are very powerful when we are in the Virgo phase. And so tapping into that for ourselves. So you go through each, I provide information for each of those seasons. So let's just pop down here quickly to Virgo. So you can kind of understand Virgo as an archetype, as a symbol, as a season, and find it in yourself. This explains the archetype, the historical meaning from various references, things that sort of support the season. And then you've got videos, back to school, tying down your haystacks, which is what I'm doing on Tuesday. Then there's guided questions, journaling questions, thought prompts to help you find that season within yourself. And then intentions, examples of intentions that help you align with the season. You can use those or write your own, and all of that is provided in here. So you would click through each of the phases. So the new moon is followed by, if you just look on the right-hand side here, the crescent moon. As the new moon is dark, we don't see a moon in the sky, and then we get a little sliver. That's the crescent moon, reminding us to set container for the actions that we want to take. There's a lot of building energy. There's a lot of action in the crescent moon. In the first quarter moon, we follow our yesness. We feel a call to do things. Well, let's make sure we're doing the right things. Let's check in with what has a yes energy to it. And I teach you how to do that. The gibbous moon is where we often have to overcome a hump, a challenge, and this is where the growth occurs. So how do we address that? We get to the full moon where things are illuminated, a lot of times in terms of what we set in place at the new moon. But let's gain perspective on what are the truths of our life. What do I want more of? What do I want less of? And then the moon starts to wane. It starts to disappear in the sky. The disseminating moon looks like the full moon with a bite taken out of it. And it is a time to truly celebrate. Look at all the cool things I did. Let me really enjoy the abundance that's here right now in the many forms that it comes in. The last quarter moon looks like a half a moon in the sky. And when we're waning, as we are, and this side, the white part of the moon, the part you see is on the left. I always think of that as what's left of the moon. So the last quarter moon is a half moon with the white part on the left. And that's when we start reviewing and checking our metrics and are we accomplishing the things we want to accomplish? This morning when I woke up, I saw the crescent moon, the balsamic moon. So it's the crescent on the left, and it is reminding us, and I want to spend a few moments here. It is reminding us, because this is where we are now. So I want to take you there. Oh, let me get the balsamic. It is reminding us to start to practice rest. We in this society value straight line productivity, giving at 99 to 110% constantly, and we know that is not sustainable. Rest, the practice of rest, the practice of release is integral to learning. This is how we wire it in. The body has to have a moment of quiet where we take it into our nervous system. We take our lessons, our healing, our growth into our being, into our nervous system. And that happens through rest. So if we don't have periods of rest, the hallmark of a life led without periods of rest is people stay stuck. They may be taking classes, they may be seeing a therapist, they may be praying, they may be journaling, they may be doing the things, but they don't get over the hump. And that is because they're not assimilating it. It is much like, what would you do? What if you had a garden and year after year you planted and you took the fruit, but you never replaced the nutrients? You never created compost. We have to rest, and it is such a counterculture, counterintuitive concept that in this module, if I can ever get to it, because my little menu apparently needs to be fixed. There it is. In this module, I teach you how to get a focus as right now is where we are in this cycle on creating rest. So I teach you some calendaring things you can do. I teach you some communication techniques you can use to let people know that you're not available, some actual sentences. And I give you a worksheet where you can examine your resistance to slowing down and all the ways that might show up. Give you a list of what did you complete this cycle. Remember to look in the rearview mirror and give yourself credit. I bet it was a lot. And then what are you grateful for? And I talk a little bit in this module about embodied gratitude. We don't experience true gratitude in our heads. True gratitude occurs in our bodies. And it can be for the darndest little things. But when you can tune in to what you're grateful for, you're tuning in to the breadcrumb trail that leads to your joy. This is the time of the moon cycle to do that. So I take you through a little meditation, a little guided visualization, where you visit the inside of your heart, where there's a pink crystal quartz cave. And in that heart space resides your wise sage or crone. Because this is the season of wisdom. This is where we gain wisdom. So let's visit our internal wisdom. Ask these 3 guide sheet questions. Learn how to use specific calendaring and communication techniques to create still space. And I talk about a Chinese principle called Wu Wei, which is inaction. So how do you do inaction? Inaction sounds like you're not doing something, but you are. So I give you that. So today for you, I'm now shifting gears. Make a list of what you want to do to wrap up the last month's work. Not a to-do list, but a wrap-up list. And also make plans over the next couple days to have empty space, to have some period of rest. We typically think of the moon cycle as eight phases, but I add a special phase called the dark moon, 24-hour period before the new moon. If you could just stay in bed and read all day, that would be perfect. And I talk about why that's important. So that's what's here. And what I just gave you some depth about the balsamic moon, the waning crescent moon, that is a version of what I would do in a small group talk called What to Do with the Moon, where the group has me in during a moon phase and I craft a talk around the energies of that phase, give them practical how-tos and tips so that they walk out of there a little more in tune with who they are inside. So that's my website. That's the quick and dirty. Thank you for that. And I want to go back to those 3 asks. What suggestions do you have for me in the way I present this material? Who do you know that might benefit from the actual course, Mooncycle Method? It is on a discount price during this moon cycle while I'm wrapping it up and making it a soft offering. And then what groups do you know who might be interested in having me in to do a What to Do with the Moon talk?
Anybody? Well, I already told you that I think the website is marvelous.
Thank you, Becky.
Yes.
I have a question. If somebody were going to do this course, how much time per day would they want to allocate to it?
That is an excellent question, Marilyn. So first off, your question speaks the idea that I have to get these things completed. And and this is where I need to find the language. So your question is helping me do that. You can spend as much time. This course is here to support you. It is not something you have to do. Just like this morning when I saw the moon, I said, oh, look, it's got some message for me. Let me sit down. And then I said, wait, I have material. I pulled up my phone and it helped me find the meaning just while I drank my coffee and meditated. So it's there for you as you need it. It is an evergreen course. There is no completion because you can go back to the same material over and over again and hear something different because you're in a different place on the spiralic journey.
So it's not guided, you do it as you want it and you keep it. It's yours, so you can keep it and
So
yeah.
a reference when
Yeah.
things come up in your
Exactly.
So Liz, you had mentioned that it isn't, start 1, start 2, start 3. So it's the idea. So let's say 6 weeks from now, I log into the course. The idea would be I would be studying under the current moon cycle, correct?
That
I would
is
start where
most likely what would have pulled you in to it. 6 weeks from now, you look up, you see this moon, and you're going, what the heck is going on right now? Wait, I've got that course. So it's most likely that that's how it would work for you, Jennifer. But you could look at anything you wanted to look at. You might be making plans for a vacation. What's the best moon phase for me to take a vacation? You might be thinking of starting a project. When should I start a project? Let me look at this information and see if I can get that aligned. So it's a reference point for you, and you don't have to do it in order. And it's there to support you. Did that answer your question?
Well, I'm really impressed with the amount of time, effort, and energy that you put into this, Liz, because I know the kind of research you have to do and also the time commitment to do this. And to be able to take that time, your site is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Well, Erica helped me. I have to give her credit for a lot of the visuals.
I think it's nice and clean. I don't feel like it's cluttered. I think it's very easy to the way you've got it set up to find exactly what you're looking for. hopefully.
you. Thank you.
But that's the impression I get. It would be very easy to kind of pick through and find what I need.
Yeah.
Does this also, I'm assuming it includes, I know that sometimes on the Mooncycle Zooms, New Moon Zooms, you talk about which essential oils are good for that particular.
It's there.
It is there.
It's
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Essential oils, crystals, all of the things that might energetically support your process are provided every step of the way.
Who do you see as your target audience?
I think it is people. I think it might be young, I think two groups, younger people who have entered the workforce and are finding out that they just don't want to work at that pace forever. I think that the generation coming into the workforce has a better sense of self-care than my generation had, and that this will support them in being productive because they still have a career, they still have things to do, while also tuning into their needs, their mission, and what they came to do in this lifetime. But the second group, I think, are people who are at the other end of their career and thinking about the next phase. And I've given it to work, I've given it to family, I've given my energy. I would like to recoup that energy and still do something in, you know, what they call the third act, that's meaningful. And this will help them do that.
Thank you.
And I want to warn you, it's 9:31 if you need to be somewhere at 9:45. Yeah. All right. Any other comments, questions, answers to Liz's questions? All right. Excellent.
Thank you all. Please send
Thank-
me an email if you think of anybody that might benefit from this.
So Liz, I know this could be like a stretchy, and I don't know how you would get involved in it, but what about the convention goers? And I'm talking sci-fi, anime. I was just at an anime convention, was having a blast. I stumbled on it by accident. But yeah, and the reason why I ask is because I know Discover Teas did really well at them. But having a
Interesting.
whole,
I tell you another thought, and I don't know how open they would be to it, but I immediately thought of the Virginia Living what
yeah, the Virginia
Virginia Living
Museum.
Museum. I mean, I think they have speakers and things in there. Where is the plant? And that's where the planetarium is too.
Yeah,
I think that might be something that you could offer your
it's a great
services to. Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
That is a great idea.
And then I know we kind of combated a little bit with, we didn't have a successful foray into the blue sky. But what about looking at organizations that, professional organizations that support holistic wellness,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I
And
have, yoga instructors, meditation instructors. Absolutely. I would love to collaborate with them in some creative way. I've having discussions with a few of them actually about
Yeah.
how we might work in what to do with the moon. So guidance on the current moon phase in with whatever they are teaching.
you could also reach out to all the local parks and recs. You
Ooh,
know,
yeah,
you
these are
can
great ideas,
definitely
Becky.
you definitely can tell them that this is a course that you would like to offer and this is the fee, and they would market it for you. And that
Ooh.
Well, that must be another one, might be some of those lifelong learning centers.
Oh, you know who's very involved in that is Judy Hines at CNU.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
And also there's one in Williamsburg, they call it OLLI, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute.
Great ideas. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Liz, for sharing, and I am going to stop the recording now.
Serious. My girlfriend and I are like, next year we're signing up for the anime convention.